Hello, streaming to you live. Today is Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. And I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Yesterday, I talked about the electricity, aka your bioenergy, and the importance behind it and its communication. And I mentioned that I was going to share some more about it. And I'm going to do that today. Got a... man. There we go. A little presentation here that I'm going to share with you. And this was recorded back in 2010. And the fellow that you're going to hear today, his name is Dr. Steve Haltiwanger. Someone who works directly with LifeWave in combination with David Schmidt. And what he mentions in this in this presentation, I strongly know what and agree with what he's talking about, because some of the things that I have experienced just on my own before I even heard anything in this presentation, I already knew some of the things, and I talked about it yesterday. But without further ado, let's listen to what Steve has to say.
He's been mainly devoted to research, and he is the Health and Science Director of the Lifeway Corporation. Let's welcome Dr. Stephen Haltiwanger.
Well, thank you very much. Since my slides are over here, I'll have to look at this most of the time here. I am very excited about being here today. This is several times I've been invited to talk here at the Tesla Tech Conference, and it's always interesting to see the technologies and equipment that you would not be exposed to in a regular life. We are going to go over a lot of information very rapidly today, so this is going to be somewhat of a speed course in electromagnetic biology. Mainstream biology and medicine uses a primary assumption that to influence the body or to create reactions, you have to have physical contact. The idea of action at a distance is foreign, although, you know, we all know that magnetism certainly works at a distance, but this is not incorporated into conventional biology, into conventional medicine. Back in 1971, when I was doing embryology studying, I began to look at how the embryo was formed, and I said, you know, these things have to be lined up on magnetic field lines. There has to be some kind of electromagnetic effect going on here. And I spent a couple of weekends looking through the medical library. There was zero information at that time that you could find on this kind of information, on this kind of topic. The mainstream biologists and medical doctors use what's called quantitative structure-activity relationship. That means two molecules have to be in proximity to each other in order to exchange information. But this theory cannot account for the speed of which reactions take place in the human body. Now, LifeWave patches, which is what I'm going to be talking about today, are a technological advance. They are utilizing the management of energy in the body, the recognition that every cell, region of cells, and even cell components operate with utilization of electromagnetic energy, has allowed the inventor David Schmidt, who is here today, to tap into the biomagnetic healing process without using an external device. So we're going to be talking about an external electronic device. We're going to be talking about using organic electronics today. So the reason organic electronics have some value, a significant value in health is because you can get an exact match on the waveform with an organic electronic. You can also get a match, depending the way he's done it, on the amplitude. So you're going to get, and you can get a good exact match on the wavelength. So while I have a whole laboratory full of electromagnetic equipment, and there is certainly value in electromagnetic equipment, you cannot match the waveform exactly unless you're using organic electronic. So what we're doing is we're using wavelengths of light to activate. So the patches are passive until they're placed on the human body, and then they're utilizing the infrared coming off the body to activate a signal, which we'll go into. So we're using a method of photobiomodulation. Now, the reason this can work, let me see if I can get, I need 3 hands here. If you look at the exterior of a cell, and you look at the cell receptors, now this is a graphical example of cell receptors, you'll see they look a lot like microwave antennas. If you ever studied antenna theory, you'll also, but of course these are not microwave range, they're in the infrared range, so they're subsequently much smaller, they're at the molecular level. So what happens is, as you begin to see this from the point of view of an electronics engineer, say, you begin to recognize you can use some of the concepts of communication technology, antenna physics technology, and start looking at how the body is designed to receive and transmit electromagnetic energies through biological electronic circuits, as well as wireless communication mechanisms. So we find that the cell surface proteins act as detectors and receivers of chemical messages. And this is the conventional training in medicine, pharmacology, is that your cell receptors are chemical docking ports for a reaction to take place. And, you know, we're using random fluctuations, you know, that this molecule is going to, you know, circulate from one place to another and it's going to have this reaction. This cannot account, in my opinion, for the speed of reactions that take place. And this certainly doesn't account for the biophysical properties of chemistry. Because when you actually study chemistry, you'll find that what you're doing is you're transmitting moving charge. I mean, chemistry basically gets down to electronics at a basic level, is you're moving charge from one molecule to another. And what happens is, how are these molecules attracted to each other? How is it this possible? And so what you begin to see is that these cell membrane receptors have specific activities. They can act as detectors, amplifiers. There are actually circuits built into the cell level that there's signal amplification. You have signal transduction. Now, for me to go through this part of the lecture would take about 8 hours, because I've given this lecture all around the world. It takes me all day long to get through this part. So I'm not going to be able to pass, I'm going to have to pass over this part here. But what we're looking at, when you're looking at the structure of a protein, it has a three-dimensional structure. It's folded a certain way. And there's what's called the charge on the backbone of the amino acid chains that determines the way that the protein folds. And what occurs is, if this protein, say, is an enzyme, when it goes into an active state, it folds into a different shape. Or when the enzymatic reaction is over, it folds back. So basically, if you start thinking about this, you have the concept of charge moving, folding, charge moving back, unfolding. You're looking at electronic switching. So you're beginning to see that the conformational shape of the structure of the protein at the cell membrane levels can actually, to some degree, act like an electronic switch. And so we see that there are a number of physical modalities that can activate these antennae. And everybody knows about chemical reactions, the pharmacology reactions that take place. Then there's acupuncturists. they have found that you needle with an acupuncture needle, you can actually create a piezoelectric transmission of a signal through the body, because the muscle tissues, the connective tissues, have natural piezoelectric properties. They're liquid crystals. We also see that acoustical reactions can activate these receptors. You can see lasers and phototherapy units. There's certainly several people out there using phototherapy here, and they are demonstrating with their units the concept of phototherapy acting on these photoreceptors. So you have photoreceptors, chromophores. You have materials that are designed to activate with light. We all know that if you are looking and you're not colorblind, you can see different colors of light as different protein molecules, the rods and cones in your eyes, are activated by different wavelengths or frequencies of light. You see the same thing with ultraviolet light, activating the skin and creating vitamin D, active vitamin D. You see the same thing if you want to get a suntan. You're seeing photobiology in place constantly, but now we're taking you to a deeper level here. So we also see you can activate these with electromagnetic signals as well as with patches. So there's an organizing energy field around the body. This standing energy field is thought to regulate the neural and chemical control systems of the body, and it's the primary information system of the body. It's involved in pattern formation, as I mentioned earlier, the embryological observation I made in '71. It was in my head. I didn't write about it, but I have it in my notebooks going back to '71. And it can be frequency modulated. Now we start looking at how we can tap into this. So frequency modulation of the body's oscillating electromagnetic field provides the capability of using the body's own energy field as a carrier wave for information. Much like a radio station frequency modulates a radio carrier wave signal to carry voice information. So we're going to look at how you can utilize proper frequency codes to activate cellular processes such as pain control, antioxidant production, increasing energy at a cellular level. Now, no drugs or supplements means that these patches are neither fish nor fowl. And I've always liked the shark bird myself over here in the bottom corner. Now, David Schmidt is the inventor of LifeWave technology. And his idea of the patches originated when he was asked by a government contractor to find new ways to keep Navy personnel alive longer in the event of an accident. I will have to say the shark patch hasn't been that effective yet, but we need more volunteers. So what is the scientific basis for LifeWave technology? Now, we know any object, and I'm talking to the group that understands this better than I do, has a natural resonant frequency. And so two objects that have similar resonant frequencies can interact without touching, and their vibrations can be coupled or entrained. Now, we know that the basis of the human body, it has metabolic reactions, and the body operates in a nicely tight range as far as the wavelengths of energy that the body is designed to utilize. It starts in the near ultraviolet, very close to visible light range. There's a little bit of effect right there. You certainly have visible light range effects, and anybody who look up phototherapy can find thousands of articles on the use of different frequencies and say the red range in pain control and in energy production. Then you get into the infrared band. Now, the body puts out a lot of infrared. And what happens is we have incorrectly, in our mind, delegated this to the ash heap of history by calling it waste heat. It's not waste heat. It is the summation of all the regulatory processes that are taking place in your body. And it has information content. And that information content can go bidirectionally. It can go both ways. So what we find is specific wavelengths of light are designed to activate specific biological effects. So when we look at LifeWave technology, we find that we're using specific polymers and organic materials to reflect infrared. That the human body generates infrared, and we already know that infrared wavelengths can produce biological effects such as pain relief. Even the FDA has recognized non-heating infrared effects, and that's 25 years behind the times. Multiple research programs, including NASA, and they use them on submarines, and they use them on NASA space station, as well as the International Space Station, as they created LED phototherapy devices for wound healing. They found that the astronauts do not heal in space, or submariners do not heal properly in long submarine voyages unless they're exposed to some of these natural frequencies of light. They have biological beneficial effects that are necessary for wound healing, energy production. Now, I think I missed something here. Let's see. Now, what we find with LifeWave patches is that they will specifically reflect wavelengths of infrared light, and that the body is the power source. So we have a technology that uses the body as the power source to generate a signal. And the best analogy I can look at is their crystal radio sets. They're crystal radio sets, but they're not operating in radio frequency range. They're operating in infrared radio or communication range. So what we look at is the specific unique construction shows that these patches are capable of generating metabolic changes. And one of the changes we've generated, or David Schmidt, I have to give him full credit for this, is that he's been able to come up with a technology that will increase glutathione, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Now, we already know that the body generates infrared, and this is a really great example here of looking at how this infrared comes through the material of that plastic bag. Now, this is an example of some of our proprietary research, just one slide though, showing an FTIR looking at the specific wavelengths of infrared energy that are transmitted by the patches. And by changing the formulas of the patches, we change this signature pattern here. This is a great example of how you can have a physiological effect in minutes. On the left, you see a picture of a body that has, the red areas are warm. And what happens is this person's been patched. You can actually see one of the patches right here. And this demonstrates within 5 minutes, we can see up to 4 degrees centigrade cooling effect in inflamed areas. It's been duplicated hundreds of times. We've done human studies. We have done horse studies. We're getting ready to publish a 38 horse study demonstrating this effect in horses also. And horses don't believe in placebos. I don't know. I mean, how many of y'all got a horse that believes in a placebo? I'd like to see him. Now, so here's one of the horses that was in the study. He was having a bad day. And his friend had to lay down, was attacked by this terrible hunting creature here. But this is actually a picture from our study. And here's this horse, and you're looking at its right side. And this would be the left side of the horse. This is the camera before picture. And here's the interesting thing. This is a cold area here. Which is right here. And this demonstrates within 5 minutes, we can see up to 4 degrees centigrade cooling effect in inflamed areas. It's been duplicated hundreds of times. We've done...
Okay, now I've realized I have created a situation here where I have interrupted the video because I wanted to see how much time I've been presenting this, but you get the kind of um, how would you say, the information with regards to how valuable this technology is. And this presentation goes on to talk about even more of how the patch technology can be utilized to heal yourself, create conditions of healing inside the body that are superb. And when I talk about the benefits that I am experiencing, whether it is after fitness or during fitness, I'm not doing anything special when it comes to my other choices, such as food, water. Water, obviously, I talked about it yesterday being number one with regards to the importance behind the communication inside the body by way of the electricity, and I still stand by that. And Steve talks about that in this episode, and I will continue with playing the rest of the video tomorrow to demonstrate to you that I do support it, because I'm feeling the changes in my body at my age of 49. And like I said in the past, there's not enough words to express how good it feels and how my body is responding to it. So yesterday I did burnout training, meaning using the metronome. See, my speaker is turned off. Where I was using the cards, they're calling which exercise was to be done and how many reps, and by the end of it all, I was hurting. I had hit fatigue over and over multiple times during the course of the workout yesterday. So as dinner came around, I'm thinking to myself, oh, I wonder how I'm going to feel in the morning. Is it going to be 2 days worth of pain? And, am I going to not be able to do today's workout? So I go to bed. I drank the cleanest and most absorbable water, as I normally do. And I had salt, and I like to sprinkle salt on my plate. Yesterday we had what was it for dinner? Oh goodness. What was it yesterday? I'm trying to remember now. It'll come to me. But anyhow, it was I know, it was tacos. So chicken and some cabbage and some ground beef and some green beans, and I like to sprinkle salt, and I put a little avocado in the taco, in the burrito. Had that for dinner last night. And I thought, am I going to be hurting when I wake up in the morning? So I slept very well last night, and I wake up, and I'm starting to thinking, okay, when I move my arms, how do they feel? Especially the biceps, because that's what I did yesterday. Was back and biceps. The back I can feel when I move the muscle, the lat here, I can feel it. It's not lactic acid sore, but I know I did work yesterday. I moved the muscle here, the bicep, the long and the short, and I can feel the brachialis as well. And is it 2 days sore? No, it's not 2 days sore. But I know I did the work yesterday. That's what tells me, I did put in the effort. And is my body responding by healing itself because of the activation of the X39 that's causing the GHK copper peptide in the body to turn on and initiate the healing? Yes. It's great how it feels every morning after I do a really hard workout. And yesterday was one of them. And if you watch it and if you participate in it, then you'll know. You'll know that if you put in the effort like how I did yesterday, you're going to feel it. You should feel it. But how much you feel will be indicative of how well your body actually recovers from it. Now, Steve talked about utilizing the organic power of the light reflection as opposed to electronic, meaning buying a red light therapy device. Is there a difference? And he says yes, there is. And precisely to get the exact wavelength. Could they do that with electronic? It's possible. Could it change? Could capacitors change and such? Like the LED light diodes and stuff like that. Could it change? Yeah. Is it inconvenience to use, to take this red light therapy? I don't know how much these things cost, but I know they're not cheap. Then you got to plug it in, then you got to put it, you have to... are you getting the same amount of activation for your efforts? Here I'm getting 12 hours every single day of activation. It's constant. Now, is that too much? I don't think so, because I'm telling you, it just the way it feels when I do my workouts and then how I wake up the next morning. I wouldn't trade it for a thing. That's why I'm saying, you don't know until you try. Scan the QR code right there. Go to unlockyyourbioenergy.godaddyscience.com. Browse through the buttons. This one here talks about the technology and the research and all that stuff, in addition to what I already showed you. If you click here on this button, it'll take you to the detailed information. So you'll see here. I'll make sure that you can see what I see. Yep. So when you click on the X39, or if you're interested in the glutathione, that is... Oops. Really? I didn't want that to happen. There's the Aeon. Which one's the glutathione? Okay, the YH Renew is the patch for the glutathione to activate that inside the body, which is the master antioxidant. So, if you think you got lots of heavy metals in yourself, well, when you drink the cleanest and most absorbable, and you got this is a good start. Do you need to have the YH? Well, it's up to you. How much you want to spend? If you want to find that helps with getting rid of the let's say mercury in inside your body. If you got flu shots, Lots of them in the past? Well, you might have lots of mercury. So, could this help get rid of some of it? You don't know until you try. So, my point is, stop waiting. Get on board. Because I'm telling you, it's good stuff. Very good stuff. And when you place your order, only do it through lifewave.com. Only through lifewave.com. They ship all over the world. And reason being because there's counterfeits out there. You don't want to get counterfeits. If you are buying directly from a brand partner, such as myself, I get the actual patches from LifeWave. And if you're in person, if you want a few, I'll sell you a few. You can try it. You don't have to buy a package. But once you start feeling it, then you'll be like, ooh, maybe I need some more of it. Then, place your order with LifeWave under me. As you see, the address on the screen. This, right there, that QR code, if you scan it, it'll take you right to lifewave.com/Gordon Tomazic, Tomazic, and place your order today. Get on board with some fantastic technology. And if water is your thing, and if you're local, I can help you with that. I'll make the water to help accelerate the communication processes inside the body between those cells. And will it accelerate the X39? Because I always say water is number one. Your body needs it. And what specifically? Is it the hydrogen or the oxygen? It's the hydrogen. You want the cleanest and most absorbable version of it. And right now, I only know one thing that makes it. There's only one thing. And you need a lot of it. A lot. Meaning quality. I drink about 2 or 3 cups of this a day. Sometimes I drink more. Sometimes 2. But do I lack any energy when I do the workouts? And I demonstrate this to you every single day that I live stream. Because I want to prove to you that, hey, I am as real as a heart attack. So, with that, let's get on with today's workout. So, yesterday I did the burnout training for back and biceps. Today is going to continue on with that concept. So, utilizing the metronome, I've got here 60 beats per minute. So, the instructions, when you hear the beep, 3, that's 1, 2, 4. Okay, so each beat is going to represent 1 rep. So within those 4 seconds, you want to be doing burnouts. So meaning today is going to be working the triceps and the chest. Okay, so for the Black King, when I flip it, if I flip Black King 3, so that's standing on the, I'm going to be doing standing flies, so the band's going to be behind me, and I'm going to be doing this. That's 2, 3. So, and then when it's a red king 3, it's going to be on the floor. So I'll be grabbing the floor. So that basically it's the angles that are going to change, and that's going to focus more on the internal chest fibers. So that's at the end of the motion. So the first standing floor fly is going to be at the beginning of the movement. So the fibers on the outside, and then we're going to switch towards the inside. And by rapidly burning them out, we're going to create fatigue, and I know it's going to hurt tomorrow. So then the queen will be first. Black queen will be facing towards the wall. So basically taking the band, which will be about anchored on the wall at about elbow height, and so we're going to go, and there's 1, 2, 3. So basically you just keep repping for every rep. So 4 seconds, 1 rep, or 4 ticks is 1 rep. So if it's a black queen 10, then it's 40 seconds worth of burnouts. It's a long time. And make sure that you have a band that you can keep sustaining that intensity. Okay? Because it's going to get hard. Yesterday I picked a band I thought was going to be just right, if you want to call it that, especially for the lats, for the chin-ups and pull-ups, and I had to reduce the weight, the resistance, because it was too much. I was already hitting fatigue too early. So, because you don't want to run, or you don't want to get into a situation where you're compensating too much. So basically, when I mean compensating, you're going to be moving too much, especially if you're going to be doing the tricep extensions. You want to have a firm posture, and you want to be able to hold it, okay? And then work those triceps. Same goes for the chest fibers. So that's today's workout. And let's begin. Cards are flipped, ready to roll. Jack is going to be skipping. First card is Jack 5. So let's go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right. Next card, Black King 3. So standing flies. So doing this here. Get out of the way. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next, Black Ace 9. So, we're doing flies again. Here we go. Oh, yes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow. Okay, next is Black Queen, so facing low band. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, wow. Okay, now rope, 90 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. All right, next up, jack, 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Next up, red king, 3. So on the floor flies. Okay. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh yeah. Next, black king, 6. So standing flies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Next, jack, 8. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Next up, black queen, 4. So this time we're facing away. 2, 3, 4. Wow. Okay. Next up, jack, 6. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Next up, red ace, 9. So floor flies. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, my goodness. Wow. Whew. Okay, next, facing away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 90 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Next card, Black Queen, 10. So, we are facing towards and go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. All right, Red Queen, 10. Now we're facing away. Oh, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Next, Red King, 3. So on the floor, flies. Just gonna untwist these a little bit. Okay. How many? 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Next, Red Ace, 7. So on the floor flies again, and we have this time 7 reps. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wow. Okay. Facing away. High bend. Okay. Here we go. 7. Ooh. All right, 70 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Last card, or second last card, ace, black ace, 4. Standing flies. Okay, here we go. And 2, 3, 4. All right. Facing towards, and go, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. 40 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40. All right, last face card, red queen 8. So here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. Okay. So 15:35. Oh, wow. I can certainly feel the pump that it provides. Okay, 1 minute down. Then we'll start the next round of face cards. $35 seconds. First card is Jack. Gonna be 10. So 100 skips. All right, 15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. All right. Next card, Black King 8. So, we're doing standing flies. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. All right. Next, Black Ace 6. So standing flies again. 2 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Facing towards and go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now 60 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. All right. Next up, Jack 6. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Next up, Red King 4. So on the floor flies. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wow. Okay. Next up, Black King 10. So standing flies. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh. All right. Okay. Next up, Jack 9. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Next up, Black Queen 4. So, two, three, four. Okay. Next up, Blackjack 7. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. All right, next up, Red Ace 7. So, on the floor flies. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, wow. Okay. Next, facing away. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 70 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Next up, Black Queen 8. So, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow. It's so hard to get the reps. Whew. Red Queen 5. All right, now we switch this one. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, Red King 9. So we're on the floor flies. 9 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, gosh, 8, 9. Wow. Okay. Next, red ace, 5. So we're doing more flies on the floor. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gosh. I'm fatigued. Okay, next is facing away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 50 skips. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right. Next up, black ace, 5. So this time we're doing standing flies. Okay. Okay. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, facing towards the wall. 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Last face card, red queen, 3. So, there's 1, 2, 3. All right, that's it. So 31:44. Get a 2-minute rest. Wow, that is a lot of reps. A lot. Blake, if you're watching, I think you'll like it. All right. One minute is down. As the shirt says, better together. is on. Feels good today. Okay, I'm going to turn off the metronome. It's good enough, I think. Well, a few more seconds. Here we go. Okay, so today's recorded date, do a screenshot here. You see here, November 11th, 2025. Starting time was at 2:06 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And let's have a look at what the heart rate was. Okay. So, you can see the dotted lines. The bottom one here, 50. Middle one, 100. So, dropped down to 100 there for a while. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe it was a big queen, king or something. And then recovery would look good, below 100. And then back right up when it started. And oxygen levels in the second round of face cards, obviously much lower. So, indicative of what I've talked about in the past. The oxygen levels from the water gets depleted. So then obviously my respiratory system is relied upon to deliver that oxygen. And hence my heart rate being higher in the second round overall. And the water plays a role. I will say it every single day. And this plays a role as well when it comes to recovering and restoring cells inside the body, because there's nothing better than being able to hit the gym the next day and do different muscle groups without having to deal with the pain associated with the effort you put in the day before. And it feels great to be able to do that 6 days a week. And I'm no slouch when it comes to the gym. I've never been that way. So I hope you enjoy these free workouts that I'm giving to you. And if you're struggling with recovery, if you're following the workouts that I'm doing and you're participating, and if you're struggling with recovery, you need to start taking a serious look at this, because it works. Now, if you want access to the water, type a message in the bottom and I'll help you with that. I'll send some to you if you want. I'll make it and I'll send it to you. Okay? It won't be free because obviously there's a cost, but don't be worried about the cost, because you can cascade the water. If you fill a 1 liter jug, you need 8 milliliters of 114 degree molecular bond angled water to change that entire glass to match the properties of the 8 milliliters. And if you ask, well, how am I going to put it in? Well, if you ever gone to a pharmacy and you got a prescription, they give you those medicine syringes, they measure. They come in 5, 8, 10, like different sizes. Just use that to put the water, the 114 degree molecular bond angled water, into your 1 liter. It's easy peasy. Stir it with your straw, let it sit for a minute or two. If the water is cold, let it sit for a little longer, because the molecules need to, when the water is cold, the molecules are not moving as fast. Okay? Or make yourself some ice cubes with the 114 degree molecular bond angled water. You'll see that they are crystal clear. Crystal clear. And when they melt into your 1 liter glass of water, they melt fast and it'll change. You'll see. And that's because of the energy. The water is different. The ice melts fast. especially in relatively if it's cold water, let's say 12 degrees, it'll melt fast. Melts fast. So that's it for today. Tacky Tuesday, episode number, what are we at? 114. And today is day number 211, wearing, you got it, the X39. And it's fantastic technology. It works for me. Can it work for you? You don't know until you try it. So get on your computer and place your order. Right there. You see that QR code? Better together. Bye.